Okay, we're live. Hi, everybody. Well, nobody's on yet, but for all the ones that are going to be watching the recording from the beginning, I want to start by saying thank you for joining me. I hope you get a lot out of today, talking about my favorite thing, gluten-free, and how to go gluten-free in your life easily, because it really isn't that hard once you know a couple of things. So before we get started, while we get some people on, hi Brittany, I see that you're on. Hopefully I'm getting better at talking and reading the comments at the same time. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Hopefully I'll see them and answer them. But if I don't, after the recording, I'll go back in and I'll answer all of them. So, okay, so today's the second edition of the Live at Fives. And I just wanted you to know that my goal in doing this is to provide you with enough information to start healing right away. So all this stuff that I do, all of these lives, are so that you can take the information and implement them in your day. Hi Sharon, how are you? I saw that you just got on. Hey Britt. So the reason, or the way I got started in doing this, is I healed myself a long time ago. And I did it all with food. And the reason why I did it all with food mainly is because I had to. The drugs were making me horribly worse. I was on beta-serum, giving myself the shots every other day. And they were making me worse. And when the doctor said, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do for you. This is MS. I thought there's got to be a different way. So yes, there's a long story. I'm not going to get into it, but I did make a homemade website. So if you want to go to mindingyoursoul.com, you can read all about it. So a couple things before we get started on the gluten-free. Ask me any questions. Hi, Vicki. Any questions related to anything, since take advantage of me being live here and seeing your questions. This way, you know, if you have the question, I'm sure a lot of other people have that same question. So whether it's on gluten-free or not, shoot me the question. And next week, or I keep saying that, I said that last week, but in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be starting an open mic night. A member will get on, tell their story. Hi, Lana. How are you? Good to see you. Hi, Arden. Okay, so what was I saying? Open mic night. We're going to start that where a member comes on, and it's going to be a Zoom. It's going to be a live feed to Facebook. They come on, they ask me questions, you guys get to see it, you can jump on, ask me questions, and we're just going to call that open mic night. So if you're interested in that, if you want to be one of those first members who's, you know, want to get on a live Zoom with me, just send me a message. And then the vibrational healing that we did last week went so well, we're going to do it again this Sunday too. Same time, Sunday at 2 o'clock. So if you didn't have a chance to jump on last week, we're going to be doing again this week, Sunday at 2 o'clock. So I didn't want to bombard the group with too many announcements, so I figured we would get the live done with today, and then I'll post about the vibrational healing if you want to do that. That went really well. So if you got a couple minutes on a Sunday and you want to jump on, please join us. Okay, thank you again, and I'm going to go over here to the gluten. All right, so eliminating gluten from your diet is really easy if you know a couple of things. Especially if you have a friend who can hold your hand and say, listen, this is what I've tried, do this, or I've tried this brand, stay away from that. So that's where I come in. The first thing to understand is, what is gluten? Gluten is the name of the protein in wheat, barley, rye, and I can never say this word, I wrote it down, triticale. I've never seen that in stores, and I don't know what it is, but that's the fourth grain that has gluten in it. So gluten is just the name of the protein. Every grain has a protein, and I posted a picture of the wheat grain diagram in the group, so take a look at that. So when you're reading ingredient statements at the store, if it has wheat, barley, or rye in it, or that tricale, whatever that is, stay away from it. It has gluten in it. There's a couple other ingredients like MSG. You don't want any MSG because that normally is made out of some form of gluten. So I stay away from that entirely. Now, it seems like most foods in the stores have some form of gluten in them, and it's overwhelming at first to think, how am I going to eat every day and feed my family gluten-free when I don't know the first thing of what I'm doing? All I know is, okay, now I know what gluten is. It seems overwhelming at first, But when you're trying to heal yourself, you're not eating a lot of processed foods anyway. When you're trying to heal yourself, you need to flood your body with fruits and vegetables. And I know that seems really simple and too easy, but that's what I did, and it works. Yes, there's a couple other things that you have to do too, but the main thing is you have to really stop eating processed foods. Now, however you want to take this level of healing and cleansing is up to you. So if you just want to start, which, and I highly recommend this, transitioning over to gluten-free. Don't just start one weekend and I'm going to shop all gluten-free this weekend and that's how I'm going to live. Do it in a transition. So be more mindful when you're grocery shopping about reading the ingredient statements. What am I actually putting inside my body? And if you're already doing that, okay, great. So, all right, I did want to say change is uncomfortable. And it's going to be uncomfortable in the beginning, but eventually this is going to become second nature. For me, I've been doing this 12 years now, being gluten-free. And in the beginning, being Italian, being Sicilian, I thought, how am I ever going to raise my kids gluten-free? I can't live if I can't eat pasta. Well, after I healed myself, of course, I went back to pasta, but it was gluten-free. And yes, I do bread, but it's gluten-free. I don't do it often, but of course I have it. And that's what we're going to talk about. So before we get into the step-by-step, because I want to give you a step-by-step guide of what you can do today to start transitioning over to gluten-free, if that's something that you're interested in, I want to tell you about what gluten does to the body. It's not actually the wheat that's causing your symptoms. Do you ever notice how some people can eat wheat and other people can't? Why? What is that? Is it an allergic reaction? No. What it is people with autoimmune diseases have the Epstein-Barr virus. The Epstein-Barr virus feeds on gluten. That's its primary source of food. That's what it loves. Gluten and eggs. We'll talk about eggs another time. But eggs, do you ever notice how the vaccines all have eggs in them? That's because eggs feed the virus. It keeps the virus alive. So eggs are the number one thing. Number two thing, gluten. So do you ever get that crazy itch? I posted about this earlier. That crazy itch that you just can't seem to scratch because it's so deep under the surface. I would normally get it on like my upper arm, the back of my upper arms or my lower back, and you're just scratching like crazy. And you're wondering, like, is this an MS thing? What is this? Well, yeah, it is an MS thing, but it's an Epstein-Barr thing. It's the virus. It's active. It's in there. And what happens is, oh, the electrical shocks. I want to mention that too. I used to get electrical shocks in my stomach. They would get so bad, they would take me down to my knees. It would only last a couple seconds, but it was just this shock, like I got struck by lightning, and it would take me down. And it was, the doctors would say, oh, that's weird. My mother would say, oh, that's weird. No one knew what it was. Until later, when I got MS and I started finding ways to heal myself, I came across this information. So what that is, that itching, those electrical shocks, those unexplained, the brain fog, that you just can't think clearly. What happens is the virus, it's inside your body. All pathogens, virus, bacteria, they all go to the bathroom. They excrete their waste. And that waste is a toxin to our body. There's two types depending on what it affects inside your body. There's dermatoxins and there's neurotoxins. The dermatoxins, what comes out of your dermal level, your skin. So anyone with psoriasis and eczema, that's a wheat sensitivity. That means that the Epstein-Barr virus is in their body and it's excreting and it's coming out through their skin. When I was sick, when I was paralyzed and in bed, my hands were covered in eczema. They would just peel. They would get the blisters. I would pick them. It would spread. It was awful. I don't have any of that now. So what you have to do to eliminate your MS symptoms is not only kill the Epstein-Barr virus, but you have to also detox it out of your body at the same time, because the die-off is also very toxic to your body. Those toxins, they're either going to come out through your skin, like I said, or they're going to affect your nervous system. So remember when you were diagnosed and they used the contrast? They used the contrast to see if your immune system is actively attacking. Now, what the MRI shows is that the immune system is attacking, What the MRI can't show, because science hasn't caught up to this yet, is that your immune system is not attacking itself. Your immune system is attacking the virus, and the virus is on your myelin and various places, but that's what the MRI is picking up. So your body never attacks itself. It can't. It wasn't designed that way. What it's attacking is the Epstein-Barr virus. And mark my words, I would give it about 10 years till science catches up with this. And you're going to start to hear this more and more. And then you're going to think, oh, that crazy woman, Janine, she said something about that. Now, Medical Medium talks about it all the time. And when I started healing myself, I just knew that something was inside of my body that wasn't supposed to be. And that's what I started trying to kill. I didn't know if it was a virus, a bacteria. I knew it was some kind of pathogen. So I figured, all right, I'm just going to treat my body like it has all of that and kill all of it. So the way you kill it is you starve it. You stop feeding it. Just like you would kill anything, you stop feeding it. So you have your immune system that's always trying to attack it, which is why you're exhausted all the time. Your immune system's always trying to attack it. You're starving it. So now the virus is dying. Now it's releasing that die-off, right? So now you have to detox, like we talked about in last week's live. You have to always be detoxing. Always be killing it. Always be detoxing. Excuse me. Not used to talking this much. All right, I don't want to get off on a tangent too much. We talked about the die-off and everything. So now we talked about why gluten is so important to kill and to detox out of your body. Once you get a handle on killing that Epstein-Barr virus, your symptoms will subside. You have to balance it out though. You have to kill it, you have to detox it, you have to flood your body with what it needs to build it up. In the beginning, I messed up. I didn't know what to eat because I didn't know how to go gluten-free. So I didn't eat a lot at all. I lived on protein bars because they said gluten-free on them. I was starving myself. I was starving my liver, and I was dizzy all the time. The more I learned how to feed my body what it needed so it had the tools to kill the virus, and then I also learned how to starve the virus and detox it out of my body, that's when everything started coming into play. So yes, there are many different spokes in the wheel, but this is a big one. This is a big one. And this is something that you do every day. You eat every day. So this is something you have to learn. Again, if you want to. All right, so I want to give you guys a step-by-step on how to do this so that you can say, you know what, so take notes. And I do have this written up. So if you want it, just send me a message and let me know and I'll send this over to you. So the first thing that you have to realize is that you need your comfort foods. I need my comfort foods. If you tell me that I'm going to feel deprived every single day, sure, I could do it for a couple weeks, but I'm not going to be able to sustain that. You want to be able to sustain a lifestyle of eating gluten-free, and you want to always be enjoying your foods. You want to look forward to eating, right? And if you're not gluten-free right now, you're going, that sounds impossible. But it's not, I'm telling you, we've got this down to a science. So first you start off with asking yourself, what are my non-negotiables? What are the things that I am not willing to give up? Because we all have them. For me, it's pizza and waffles, not together. But every Friday night is pizza night, and I didn't want to give that up. My husband now thinks that my gluten-free pizza is better than regular pizza. I know. And here's a little tip. It's not Domino's, you know, the chain, the Domino's pizza chain. They offer gluten-free pizza. And in the beginning, before I went dairy-free, that's the pizza that I was ordering, because what other gluten-free food can you order by, on the phone on Friday night? I didn't know of any. So not a lot of people know that. Domino's makes gluten-free pizza, and it's really good. Now, there's a couple different brands. Against the Grain, Udi's, Amy's, Daya. Daya is that dairy-free one, and I brought visual aids here. So this one is not my favorite, but we had it the other night. It's the Daya gluten-free, dairy-free pizza, and it's okay. It's not bad. It will do. This was the only thing that they had in Stop and Shop. Normally, I'll go with Against the Grain and add my own dairy-free cheese. I'm not always dairy-free. I would say 90% of the time I'm dairy-free, but gluten, I never cheat on. You can't cheat on gluten. You can't, because it takes 30 days for the amount of gluten that can fit on your thumbnail to leave your body. 30 days. And yes, the tiniest bit will cause you symptoms because you feed that virus just a little bit and it comes to life. I could talk more about my symptoms and the way I go down, and I'll lose a leg, and yeah, I can't go near gluten, so you can't cheat on that. I could cheat a little bit on dairy here and there. It doesn't feel good. It's not good for my stomach, so it's just not worth it. Excuse me. Okay, so a gluten-free pizza is really easy to find in any store. If you want to make your own, great. They sell the gluten-free crust, the cauliflower crust. Just make sure the cauliflower crust is gluten-free, because a lot of times now they're making cauliflower crust and advertising it as cauliflower crust, but there's also wheat in there too. So always read the ingredient statement. Waffles. I said that was the other thing. These are my favorite waffles. They are wonderful. They are Vans. Gluten-free. My kids like these better than regular waffles. And I'm going to give you what my daily routine is for eating, because it really doesn't vary all that much. But on the weekends, sometimes you just want to get up, toast yourself a waffle, and dip it in maple syrup. And by the way, don't use the fake maple syrup. The real maple syrup, love Vans. Oh, good, Artie, you know Vans, right? They're amazing. The blue, it's like got real stuff in it too. The ingredient statement is amazing. Oh, hi, Angela. I'm sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the comments. I'm glad you're on here. Don't worry about being late. It's gonna be recorded, and I'm rambling right now, so I'm repeating a lot of stuff. So sometimes on the weekends, you don't want to shake, you don't want your celery juice, you just want to sit down with a cup of tea and some Vans waffles, and they are delicious. So, oh, you love it too. Okay, good. Yeah, Vans are very popular. Okay, so first you come up with your non-negotiables. These are the things that I need to have. You need to go find yourself a gluten-free version of it. Those are some really awesome brands. I feel like I had another visual aid, but I guess not. Okay, so now let's go through my typical gluten-free day, right? The first thing that I do is what I talked about last weekend, lemon water. I won't go into that again. Scroll back in the group to watch that lemon water one if you haven't watched it yet. I do that every day, even on the weekends that I just talked about where I wake up and I just want waffles. I still do the lemon water because I have that little voice in my head that goes, well, your liver didn't take a day off, did it? So why are you taking a day off? How hard is it to drink lemon water? So I just do it. I do it every day. So I start out every single day with the lemon water. During the week, I do the celery juice. And then after the celery juice, I do the heavy metal detox smoothie or some version of it. Depends on how strict I'm being. Like I said, you are going to take your cleansing, your transitioning into gluten-free in all different levels. If you're trying to heal, yeah, you're going to go hardcore. Hi, Holly. How are ya? See ya. You're going to go hardcore in the beginning because you're trying to heal yourself. And then you're going to back off a little bit and you're going to assess the situation. And then you're going to go hardcore again. It's all where you are in the journey. So everything that you take, all these pieces of information that you take from everybody else, just make sure you're not thinking, oh, she does this, I need to do this. No, you got to figure out what's good for you and where you are in the process. Okay, that's the only thing that matters. So my breakfast, lemon water, celery juice, heavy metal detox smoothie. I don't have to worry about gluten because that takes me until about 10 o'clock in the morning. And what I do is, yes, I do work. I still work my 9-to-5 job. Hopefully I'll be leaving soon. My plan is to leave by June and be coaching full time, but we'll see how it goes. Right now I'm still there. So on the weekday mornings when I go to work, I do my lemon water. As soon as I wake up, I squeeze the lemon, I put it in the water, bring it in the bathroom with me, I take a shower. I get out of the shower, I put the mousse in my hair, brushing out my hair, I'm drinking the water. Then I'm done with that. By the time I get out of the bathroom, I'm in the kitchen now, on my way to the bedroom, I stop and I make my celery juice. And I drink the celery juice while I'm putting on my makeup. Then before I leave to go to work, I make the heavy metal detox smoothie. And then I leave the juicer and the blender on the counter because my 18-year-old son is home. And that's the deal. He cleans up after me. So yeah, that would be a pain in the ass, but I think everything goes in the dishwasher anyway. So, okay, that's another tangent that I'm getting off on. Okay, so that brings me till I get to work. So I drink the shake and I get to work. When I get to work, that's when I have my coffee. Now, coffee is okay. I'm going to do another live on coffee because coffee is actually good for you. It's what we do to it that's not good for you. So I drink organic coffee. I drink it black with maple syrup. Oh, hi, Tina. How are you? What about gluten in makeup? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Okay. I don't wear a ton of makeup. Some of the stuff I wear, most of the stuff I wear is from IT Cosmetics or the dollar store, honestly. So I don't know about gluten in makeup, but I'm sure somebody does. And if somebody does, we're going to post the crap out of that because that's a really good one. Shampoos too. And you know, I'm going to do a whole thing about what you put on your body and how that absorbs in. What is the smoothie? Arden says, oh, the heavy metal detox smoothie. Arden, I think I emailed you the link to that. If you guys just want to Google medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie, it will take you right to it, and it'll give you all the ingredients, and it gives you links on where you can buy the stuff like the spirulina, the barley grass juice powder. So yeah, do that. But Arden, remind me, send me a message. If you don't see it, I'll send it to you. Okay, so I'm at work now. I've had my coffee with maple syrup. Try it. Sounds insane. And I was so surprised by how good it is. So then we're in mid-morning. Say we're like 11:30. I'm hungry again, which is good. You always want to be hungry because that's going to make you want to reach for the fruits and vegetables. I go to the kitchen. I cut myself up 2 apples. That is going to... I don't want to explain that now because that absorbs the acid that's in your stomach that I can't explain too well. All I know is that the 2 apples, they are absolute miracle workers. What I do know about apples is what I wrote down in my notes here. They collect bacteria, parasites, viruses, and mold from your gut. I have 2 every morning. They help heal diverticulitis. They reduce inflammation in the stomach and the intestinal tract. They make your stomach feel so good. And 2 apples really fills me up. I use organic Honey Crisp. Delicious. Keep them in the fridge. There is a gluten-free shampoo, isn't there, Arden? I knew it. I want to do a whole nother Facebook Live on the stuff that we put on our bodies. So I use the Shea Moisture right now from Costco. I love that stuff. What else do they do? Well, apples are little miracles. Look that shit up. It's good stuff. And you know what? Have fun with the apples. Put some cinnamon on them. Dip them in maple syrup. Every day I have 2 apples at 11:30. And then, okay, so that brings me to lunch. Now, we're talking gluten-free here, right? So what do you do for lunch? Depends on your level of healing. Right now, I'm not eating any meat until dinner time because it feels good. And when I'm at the office, I want to take advantage of that time where I'm just sitting there. I drink my water. I drink 2 of these while I'm there, which, by the way, when you're doing lemon water in the morning, fill up your Hydro Flask or whatever you're bringing with you throughout the day so you get that lemon water in you all day long. So lunch, right? It's always some version of quinoa or riced cauliflower. That's like my big thing these days. I always keep the bags, which you can get from Aldi. I don't know if there was gluten in makeup or shampoo. Do you share? Yeah, I absolutely will. I will, because that's something I need to get better on too. I've been using the same stuff for years, but I know that that's a huge topic. So for lunch, I always keep a backup in the freezer at work and at home. Aldi sells these great bags of frozen riced cauliflower or frozen cooked quinoa, sometimes with kale, sometimes without. And they're great because you throw that in the microwave. I throw some peas in there. I bring to work whatever leftovers I had the night before from dinner. So stuffed peppers. What else do I do? Oh, the potatoes. Potatoes are so healing. Oh, leftover pumpkin burgers. I should post that recipe. That is so easy to make and so delicious. I know it sounds weird, but there's chipotle peppers in there. So the pumpkin, the peppers, it's so good. Chickpeas. Chickpeas is a big one. Now, in my little pile here of visual aids, if you don't already have this book, Cleanse to Heal, Medical Medium, look at all my tabs here. This is not only my Bible of all these different cleanses. We're going to talk about the 9-day cleanse at another time. That's a big one to cleanse the body. But it's also a cookbook. So anytime I need inspiration, I go in here and I was, oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. Get this book. It's so cheap. And if you don't want to buy it right away and so you know you like it, go to the library. The medical medium is always saying, listen, I don't care if I make money on this or not. I just want you to have the information. Hi, Michelle. Glad you joined us. So I can eat regular potatoes. Oh, absolutely, Tina. Regular potatoes have gotten such a bad rap for being high in carbs. They're really good carbs. They're very cleansing. And they have, oh, I can't think of what's in them right now because my brain is overloaded. I'll send you the information. I'll post the information on that. White potatoes are so healing. What you do is you buy the little round ones and you steam them, because the oil, you don't want the oil gunking up your liver. Steam them. They're delicious. And then keep them in the refrigerator. Pop them in your mouth, or heat them up later and put them in the quinoa for your lunch, or the riced cauliflower, and make a nice bowl out of it. Make it good. I think sweet potatoes. I cook probably 10 of those on the weekends, and then I just grab those out of the fridge, take that to work, chop them up, add that in the bowl. My bowls at work, people make fun of me because I walk out of the kitchen with like this huge bowl that looks like a serving bowl with, you know, the big scoop. That's my lunch every day. It's all vegetables and it's all quinoa or riced cauliflower. That's my kick that I'm on. So that's lunch. Now you're not going to get too full. Oh, today I had the black bean burgers, the black bean quinoa burgers that I made last weekend. So good. Cold or hot, they're so good. I'm sorry, I hope I'm not going too fast. I hope I'm not losing people. I can't have any coconut or coconut derived, which makes it hard to get shampoo or conditioner or lotions. Well, and yeah, no, see, that would be hard. So this is where this group is great, because I know a lot of people are using a lot of different things. So Angela, post that in the group, because I also would be interested to know what else is out there. I'll look at my ingredients for the Shea Moisture. I'm sure that has coconut in it. I think I remember reading that. But post that, definitely. I'd love to see what everybody is eating, is using in their hair. So back to eating. So that's my lunch. I don't fill up too much again because I don't have meat until dinner time. And what that does is it satisfies me, but then it leaves me looking for more food around 2 or 3 o'clock. And a lot of people say, my God, you eat all day. I do eat all day. And you kind of have to eat all day in order to get enough fruits and vegetables in you that you need to get in you. Because you're constantly killing the virus. That's how you're going to live. Once you heal, you constantly are going to live killing the virus. And if you're not eating all day, well, then you're not getting enough in you to kill the virus. Post 80 words too. Okay, cool. I'll post it, and I'll post the 80 words too. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yes, definitely post that. So if you eat meat for lunch, you're going to find that you're not hungry until dinner time. And then you've had that whole afternoon of not eating. So you don't want to fill up too much at lunchtime, because you want to eat again mid-afternoon. So mid-afternoon, yeah, I did put that there. This is when I want sweet or I want crunchy. So I'll eat whole dates. I always have whole dates. Hi, Holly. Just use Plant Vaseline moisturizer. You know, I've heard that. Vaseline on your face. I heard that. Yeah, you have amazing skin. So whatever Holly's doing, everybody, listen to Holly. We just named Holly the official baker of Minding Your Soul. So if anyone has any questions on baking, Holly, your phone's about to blow up. Ask her for the substitutions. Neem oil. Yeah, Arden, that's a good one. I remember reading about that. Holly is amazing. If you go to her personal page, if you're lucky enough to be friends with her, you will see all the videos that she posts, all the substitutions to make your gluten-free baking taste good. And then she posts these delicious pictures. Holly, thank you. So everyone, Holly's your go-to person. I know. Congratulations, Holly, right? I got to get her a sticker or something, or some kind of plaque for her wall. Resident gluten-free baker, Minding Your Soul. All right, so we're on mid-afternoon. I'm sorry, this is taking so long. That's so funny. 30 minutes went by already. Mid-afternoon, this is when I have my dates. You got to have dates every day. Dates feed your brain. You think your brain is made up of fat? It's not. It's made up mostly of sugar, and that's what it needs. It needs the good sugar to run. If you're feeling dizzy all the time and you're looking for some clarity, eat those dates every day. I keep them in my drawer. So I know I said I eat them in the afternoon, but honestly, I eat them all day long. They're like God's candy is what people call them. Excuse me. Carrots and hummus in the afternoon. That's a big one because I like to crunch the little baby carrots with hummus. You can buy your hummus, but I felt like that was getting expensive. And so I started buying the case of chickpeas from Costco, and I make my hummus Sundays. It's really simple. You throw everything in the Cuisinart, the tahini, lemon juice, and chickpeas, and I make it good for the week. Sliced peppers with hummus and everything but the bagel seasoning. Awesome. So you're getting your carrots in, you're getting your peppers in, you're getting your dates in. And this is just in the afternoon, right? People think that, oh, dieting and going gluten-free, you're going to, you're not going to eat. No, you eat all day long because you are fueling your body with what it needs to fight the virus and give you energy all day long. Celery sticks with almond butter. I love that. Strawberries with shredded coconut. Okay, so that's mid-afternoon. Excuse me. So now we're here at dinner. I'm not a vegetarian, but my daughter is. So then that means that I am too, because I don't want to cook all of these different meals, because my husband, he eats everything. He eats meat. So he takes care of his own meat needs. Buys a chicken every week at Costco. Holly, dates cooked in coconut oil, then blended and rolled into balls and dipped in Lily's melted. Oh my goodness. All right, that sounds amazing. The only thing I've done so far with dates, besides eat them, is throw them in the Cuisinart, blend them up with a little water, and made it into a date butter. It was amazing. I actually made myself sick on it because I ate way too much. But that's a good one. I'm going to have to try that one. Maybe for Valentine's Day, for like a little treat. Okay, so I don't eat a lot of meat. Now, I'm not against eating meat. Go ahead and eat meat if it makes you feel good, you know, whatever works for you. I eat a lot of seafood. I eat a lot of salmon, a lot of shrimp. What else did I put down here? Yeah, it's all vegetarian, so I'll put together like a whole, I think I wrote out what I do. Okay, I did. Bag of shrimp. Oh, my bag of shrimp. I use that. It goes such a long way. You get that from Costco too. You get all this stuff at Costco. You can get that Udi's bread. Did I talk about that? At Costco too. The Vans waffles, everything. One trip to Costco. Done. You don't have to go to all these special stores. So the shrimp, I do that with shrimp and garlic and gluten-free pasta. Shrimp tacos. Toss the thawed shrimp. What did I say? In a gallon bag. Oh yeah. So take the shrimp, put it in a gallon bag with some flour, and then toss that in coconut oil in a pan and saute that up. You get a nice little crispiness on the outside of that shrimp. It's so good. So I use a lot of the frozen shrimp, a lot of frozen vegetables, again from Costco. They go right in the wok, stir them up, in with the shrimp. That's dinner. And then sometimes I'll just take that for lunch the next day too. Fennel salad. Look that one out. There's so many things that you could do with fennel salad. It's so refreshing. It's so friggin' good. And it gives you that crunch too for lunch the next day. I already said pumpkin burgers. They're made with oats, walnuts, chipotle peppers, garlic. Oh, and the maple roasted Brussels sprouts in this book, Cleanse to Heal. He came up with a really good one. It's maple syrup. It sounds disgusting because Brussels sprouts and syrup sounds nasty, but it's not. It's so freaking good. So that's my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A lot of people ask me about brown rice. So they messaged me. So I just want to let you know, rice, brown, white, whatever, it is gluten-free completely. I don't eat it though. It bloats me. And I know a lot of people does the same thing too. I don't know why. It bloats the hell out of me. So I just don't eat it anymore. Every once in a while I'll get sushi and I'll try it. And now I'm bloated again. So it is gluten-free though. So if you can eat it, then that's great. I already talked about the Medical Medium Cleanse to Heal book. It is my absolute favorite. It's my go-to. And anytime I'm looking for inspiration on any new foods, I go to that book. Okay, if you don't mind staying with me a little bit longer, or whatever, if you're watching the recorded version, I wanted to talk more about desserts and comfort foods. I'm ordering that book on Amazon. Oh, good. I'm so glad we're going to talk about that 9-day cleanse. Angela, order the book. It's awesome. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys more about, so I just gave you my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner, right? That's my gluten-free day. What about desserts? What about comfort foods? We talked a little bit about pizza and waffles in the beginning, but there is so much that you can do. Okay, I read those already. Okay, good. There's so much that you can do with fruits and vegetables to make them taste so friggin' good. What I did with my kids is, in the beginning, when I was first getting healthy, I didn't want them to associate mommy being sick with now we have to eat healthy. I wanted them to want to eat healthy, and that's hard when it comes to kids. So what I did was I would make my own food, and then I'd make them their food. And when they'd ask me questions, I'll be like, oh, mommy has to eat gluten-free, mommy has to eat this. And they were little, 5 and 8. And they would ask me for some, and I'd be like, all right, well, you can have a taste, but only a taste. I don't have enough if you like it. So there was no pressure on them. They tasted everything, and they loved it all. And eventually what happened was they'd say, oh, Mom, can you make that thing that we tasted the other night? Sure. Little by little, they started eating all of my food, and that's how the whole house went gluten-free. it's not something that you have to do. I mean, if there's no need to go gluten-free, you don't have to. My husband, he's not gluten-free. I don't think he'll ever be gluten-free. He doesn't need to. He doesn't have the pathogens in his body. He can eat whatever he wants. But if you want to get your kids started on the gluten-free thing, my daughter's doing it now. Her skin is clearing up. It looks so good. Do it little by little. Make it their idea. Give them tastes of what you're making so that it's excuse me, so that it's their idea to eat gluten-free and or dairy-free. Okay, so real quick, desserts and comfort foods. Frozen sliced bananas, I don't know if anyone knows this, they taste like ice cream. Take them out of the freezer 2-3 minutes, just let them like come up a little bit to temperature. They taste like ice cream. So I'll keep sliced bananas in the freezer for my shakes in the morning, yes, but at night I'll take a couple of those bad boys out and I coat them with maple syrup, a little shredded coconut, some chopped walnuts, and you know, if you have to, I know someone who loves their Nutella. You can add a little Nutella on there. Not great though. Don't do it all the time. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. That is like having a bowl of ice cream, those bananas. Dragon fruit in the blender. This was my daughter with the pliables. She wanted to do her own thing. They sell bags of dragon fruit at Costco, already chopped up into little squares. You put that in the blender, nothing else, and you just blend that up. It comes out like ice cream. It's amazing. And then you take mini dark chocolate chips and you sprinkle that on top, maybe a little bit of coconut on top for those of you who can have coconut. Oh my God, that is a dessert everybody loves, even my husband and my son who really don't care about anything gluten-free. Oh, I haven't tried this yet, but in this book, this is the next one that I want to try. They have this caramel apple soft serve ice cream. And it's all right, it's up. I'm good. I'm back. It's made of an apple, a frozen banana, 3 dates, and vanilla, and that's it. And it blends up, and the picture looks like soft serve ice cream. So I'm going to try that next. It looks amazing. Wild blueberry oatmeal. I make my oatmeal. Oats are gluten-free. They're gluten-free. However, the machines that they process the oats on are the same machines that they use to process wheat. So if you're a manufacturer and you're processing oats, of course you're going to make more money and you're going to process wheat. It's the same machinery. But I don't know how sensitive I am. I don't know if I eat products that are made on the same machines as wheat if I'm going to get symptoms. I don't want to test that out ever. So I don't do that. I buy the gluten-free oats. They're in every store these days, easy enough to get. Angela, yummy, right? I know. If you try that recipe before I do, let me know. So keep that in mind about oats. Buy the gluten-free oats. Sweet potato chips in every store that you could possibly imagine. They're gluten-free. They're delicious. At least I think so. My husband doesn't think so. I made him soup. Anyway, that's another story for another time. Oh, apple pie filling. That's another one from the book. Chopped up apples, cinnamon, nutmeg, mix it all around, maybe add a little maple syrup and eat it. It's so delicious. These foods, these gluten-free foods, where do you get wild blueberries? Excellent question. Not at Costco. It'd be a lot easier if I did. The brand is Whitman's. It's a blue bag. I'll post it later if you remind me. I get it at Stop and Shop. A lot of people say ShopRite has them too. A lot of times they only sell the little bag, but ShopRite or Stop and Shop just started selling the large bags. So I buy 2 or 3 at a time and I throw them in our extra freezer. So make sure you get the wild blueberries. Lana, I'm so glad you brought that up. BJ's has them in the freezer section. BJ's, and here I am at Costco. I might have to try BJ's because that would be a lot easier. Thank you for that. Oh, Holly, Yo Nana machine makes banana and ice cream consistency. It's amazing. I need another one. I use a Ninja right now. It's not the greatest. Yo Nana. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. See, I love this community. We learn so much from each other. Everything is just a piece of the puzzle, and eventually you start grabbing pieces from everybody and you're putting your puzzle together, and all of a sudden you start coming to life and your symptoms start fading. This is how it's done. This is how I did it. Books, everything that I could find that was about healing. And through my journey, I learned a shit ton more than I even wanted to know. So I got a little crazy. I didn't wear nail polish for like a year. So anyway, okay, so we're back to this. Avocado toast, awesome on the gluten-free. Bread, that's amazing. If it's gluten-free bread, that's gluten-free as well. with sriracha. All right, I'm going to stop. There's a lot on here. What I wanted to talk about, I got a little sidetracked. I got a little excited about that powdered wild blueberries. You know what? The medical medium says that powdered wild blueberries is fine. So I guess if you can't find the real wild blue, the frozen ones, not the real ones, he says the powder is fine too. He also says that the powdered celery is also good if you can't do the celery juice. I don't know. I can't vouch for that. I don't know. I've always been able to find the frozen blueberries and juice my own celery. So if anyone has anything, can speak to that, that'd be great. I think we all know about the wild blueberries versus the conventional. Just make sure, for anyone who's new here, you have to get the wild blueberries. They have all those antimicrobial and virus-killing properties that the conventional blueberries don't. So make sure, whatever brand you get, I only know of Whitman's. There might be more brands. Just make sure that they are wild, and I think everybody knows that. Okay, so I already mentioned Holly. I put you down here in my notes to make sure I mentioned Holly, the resident baker of Minding Your Soul. God, you're good. You have such good stuff. All right, everybody. I did not anticipate to talk for 45 minutes. For those of you who are stuck around, thank you. For those of you who are watching the recording later, if you have any questions, or if I said that I was going to do something and I didn't, please send me a reminder. And put your questions in the comments, and I'll make sure I go back and I always answer them. And for anyone who is watching this and wants to see a training on something that I haven't mentioned that I'm going to do, shoot me a message. I always want to create content that is relevant to what the members are looking for. So yes, I could tell you everything that I did, and I'm going to give you all the information that you need to heal yourself. But if there's something that you're like, hey, can you move this to the top of the list because I'm really interested in this, shoot me a message. It would help me, actually, and give me more topics. So, all right, very good. I know there was probably other reminders that I wanted to do, but I'm shot. That was a lot of talking. That was 45 minutes. All right, everyone, thanks for joining me, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great day, everyone.